Thank you for coming to Google, fighting the Kendall Square construction and traffic. And thanks to the Ad Club for inviting me to speak today about the empowered healthcare consumer. So the center of gravity is shifting out of the doctor's office, out of the hospital, and literally into the palm of the patient's hand. And this is being driven and enabled by media consumption, tech development, and accessibility. And here at Google, we have a unique position and ability to understand consumer behavior, particularly digital behavior, in both media and technology. So we're going to talk about sort of three themes today. The first is that going online no longer exists. Second, portability will prevail in healthcare. And the third is that massive amounts of data are being created, and data is really going to sit at the center of the industry. So as brands, we all need to understand that data and how to leverage it. Okay? So here we go. There we go. Okay. We don't go online anymore. We live online. Gone are the days of these long, dedicated sessions on a desktop or laptop, right? Today, we're all carrying that supercomputer in our pocket, the smartphone, and it's quite literally an extension of ourself, right? It's the most personal device and the most personal thing that most of us carry with us. And we turn to that device to answer whatever need we have in any given moment. It's not surprising that today consumers spend more time with digital media than with any other form, but what might be surprising is that over half of that time is spent on a mobile device. Pretty astounding, right? And what are we doing with all that time? Well, here's a snapshot of an internet minute, right? That's a lot of Tinder swipes for any Tinder users. Right or left, I don't know. Not a user. On Google, every minute, 120,000 healthcare-related searches. That's 2,000 health queries per second. In fact, across Google, 1 in 20 searches are healthcare-related. Consumers demand instant gratification today, and they expect infinite choice. And all of this leads to an empowered patient taking their healthcare into their own hands. But it's not just on Google. Last year, there were 3 billion healthcare searches on YouTube. So we often think of Google as the place that people go to search for their moment of need, but people are also searching for video content. And a large portion of these searches are people with some intent to learn more about their health. They're searching for everything from allergy to Zika, asthma, arthritis, cancer, weight loss, and more. It really runs the gamut. Right now, there are 156 million people online in need of a healthcare solution. They're consuming content about their situation and empowering themselves through information, technology, data, and access. So consumers today no longer go online. They live a connected life. And mobile has really enabled this change. Which brings us to the second point. Portability will prevail in healthcare. It's a mobile world. In the US, in late 2014, health searches on mobile surpassed those on desktop. Looking for health information, according to Pew Research, the number 3 most common online activity for all age groups. And today, 52% of healthcare searches are mobile, and that's up 70% from just 2012. Apps are another big driver of change, right? Putting that power in the patient's hand. 29% of internet users used an app or personalized website to manage their healthcare in 2015. And I get a Starbucks gift card for anybody who knows the answer to this question. I don't know how much is on it though. Of the 165,000 health and wellness apps that are available today, how many account for nearly half of all downloads? Anybody know? Want to guess? A little higher. 36. So I'll keep the gift card. 36 apps out of 165,000 account for over half of all downloads in this category. Right? This slide's been up in at least 2 presentations that I've seen today, right? So we're all using the same art. Consumers are taking more active roles in their healthcare management, and they're engaged with their health. And tracking has moved from the diary to the device. From 2013 to 2015, consumers' use of technology to measure fitness and health improvement goals has grown from 17% to 28%, and amongst millennials, 45%. So pretty astounding that the largest population group are showing such high adoption here. And among consumers with chronic conditions, for those provider marketers, tech-based monitoring has jumped from 22% to 39% in just the last 2 years. So chronic condition monitoring is a big trend. But it's not just activity monitoring that we're tracking. We're also tracking non-activity monitoring, right? Like sleep, maybe using the Bedit device, right? We're tracking what we're drinking from Vessel, a cup that knows and tracks everything you drink. So you can see on there, it recognizes that we're drinking coffee, and it'll tell us the caffeine in the coffee, right? Pretty amazing technology. If you want to feel really bad about yourself, get a Happy Fork. So anybody have one? I don't. The Happy Fork measures how long it takes you to eat and the intervals in between your servings. And since we know that eating too quickly leads to poor digestion and poor weight control, it'll vibrate if you eat too fast. Go get one. When you're done eating, maybe you'll brush your teeth with the Oral-B Genius toothbrush. It has location tracking technology, and it uses the camera on your phone, which suction cups to the mirror, to track how you're brushing in your mouth and make sure you get good oral hygiene and coverage of all your teeth, which, as the son of a dentist, I can attest is very important, right? Make sure you get the bags. At CES this year, the Health Expo was the largest it's ever been. Siemens rolled out these smart hearing aids, which dynamically adjust to the audio in the room for the user. So no more sort of, turning the hearing aid up and down like my grandfather used to do. The device will do it for you, right? We have all the tools of the regular checkup in the palm of our hand. I'm as likely to turn to my own device as I am to seek the care of a doctor, and we've heard that theme a couple of times. And maybe I'll do that through the Cordio smart blood pressure cuff. Connects via Bluetooth to my phone, shareable with my doctor. Or, this is a device to get, the Scanadu. Anybody know what this is? Seen one? Have one? Measures temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, pulse, EKG, stress. It'll even do a urinalysis, all, again, shareable with your doctor, okay? Wash it. And if you do want to go to the doctor, and Chris just alluded to this, here's the 70% stat. 70% of people say they would rather connect virtually with their doctor than go to the office. And in 2014, it's estimated that 1 in 6 doctor visits were virtual. So pretty astounding adoption. And all of this is going to get even easier as the tracking is built right into our clothing. So check out this onesie. It's called a Mimo. It's $200. So for any parents out there who want to stop staring at the video baby monitor at night, this will measure the baby's breathing, motion, room temperature, and room audio all through an external base. And it'll alert you if there's a problem. And for adults, you could try eSkin, which is used for monitoring motion, breathing, pressure, body temperature, and other functions, and it's machine washable and highly durable. So there's a lot of sort of change in the market, and we're seeing all of these devices go from large to small. On the clinical side, Philips Healthcare has just rolled out a product called Lumify. It's a portable ultrasound machine. So we're seeing these large hospital devices get smaller, more portable, and higher quality, right? Here at Alphabet, we have 3 companies working on healthcare. We have Calico, we have Google, and we have Verily. And at the center of everything we do sits data, which is sort of our third point here, right? Understanding and leveraging data. At Google, we've created the FIT platform, which is a consumer health data platform. It's an aggregator of health information that will unsilo data from all of those 165,000 apps, or maybe just the 36 that people are using. Right? It's a one-stop shop for users that turns every smartphone into a fitness tracker. And we've paired that with Android Wear, right? Like this device here, which everybody asks me if it's an Apple Watch. It's not. This device provides glanceability, just-in-time information, and on-body sensors for a portable, mobile, multi-screen world, right? Google Glass has great applications like this one for folks with autism, right? It connects or can connect expression to emotion, right? So someone with autism can see the alert right in their glasses without breaking line of sight with the user. Or or this one, which I'll tell you about in a second, Project Remind. This is a prototype, but this is an application for Alzheimer's patients, and hopefully the video plays, and if it doesn't, I'll tell you about it. There we go.
Hello, I'm 9 years old and part of a big family. Like everyone else, I also have a grandpa, Peter. I was named after him. He's 86 years old, head of the family, grandfather of many, and the father of my mom and uncles. My grandpa is the best man I have ever known, but along with 36 million people in the world, he has Alzheimer's disease. It's a degenerative condition that affects patients and the people close to them. It worsens as it progresses, it's incurable, and it leads to death. I'd love if he could see me and remember my name again. Now, thanks to Google, it's possible. Google Remind is a new Google Glass feature made to help people like my grandfather. It allows him to interactively remember using face and voice recognition, geolocation, real-time product identification, and access to live agendas and emergency numbers. Everything he needs to enjoy a better life. Now my grandfather Peter is remembering again.
Prototype only, but a good reason to work at a company like Google. At Verily, they're partnering with Novartis on the ocular glucose monitor contact lens for diabetes. So the contact lens is being designed to measure blood glucose level through tears. And what this does for consumers, for those suffering with diabetes, is it eliminates the need for them to prick their finger, right? So it's got a great consumer use case. But for the medical community, it produces a ton of data, real-time data, that can aid in better prevention and treatment solutions, right? So imagine when you have your blood glucose data paired in real time with your food consumption data, right? Because healthcare is personal, and our bodies are personal, and we metabolize food and substances differently. So now we're going to be able to deliver personalized healthcare and solve this chronic problem. They're also working on liftwear. So liftwear is a stabilizing handle for folks with tremor diseases, right? So the handle comes with attachments like a soup spoon, and it keeps it about 70% more stable than someone with a tremor disease. Also produces lots of data so that we can better understand the progression of diseases like Parkinson's, right? Verily's working on nanoparticle technology, cancer-detecting nanoparticles that move throughout the body and through the blood to detect and report back on signs of cancer or an impending heart attack. And we're working on a pill that you would essentially swallow, and the nanoparticles would move throughout the bloodstream. They would connect to a wristband. They would communicate to the wristband through light-emitting technology, and they would get to the wristband through magnets. Right? So just a few things going on with this technology. So there's amazing stuff happening in healthcare, and at the center of it all, at least as far as we're concerned here, sits data. All of these changes, digital, means changing the way you operate. It's not just about one channel. There's one more consumer device that I want to, a consumer device story that I want to share with you, and it's about a $20 piece of cardboard that saved a baby's life. So watch this.
Okay, it may not be the Oculus Rift, but a $20 cardboard contraption and a smartphone team up to save the life of a baby, and it's just one of the top stories across America.
Tegan Lexon was born with only one lung and half a heart. She was declared inoperable until Miami doctors put photos of her heart into Google Cardboard.
I see the baby's heart. I see it in 3D. I can see it from the front, the back, I can see it from the top, and I can see it from the bottom.
The extra angles let doctors plan a surgery, and after a 7-hour operation, baby Tegan is expected to make a full recovery.
Minutes and millimeters make the difference between getting it right and getting it wrong. Once we saw these images, we said, wait a second, we can figure this out. I think this is the difference between her living and dying.
Pretty incredible story. So to wrap up, three key trends or takeaways. People are constantly connected. We don't go online, we live online, and access to information is changing the relationship between patients and providers and between consumers and brands. Number 2, technology is driving reduced size and increased capabilities with our devices. Sitting in an MRI machine in a hospital may soon be a thing of the past as technology makes its way to connected devices, including phones. And all of these devices and trackers and apps and queries are creating massive amounts of data, and that data can be leveraged to prevent, to treat, to cure, to market, and to drive action. Thank you.